Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
For months, Vice President Kamala Harris has touted the Border Patrol Union's tepid support of a so-called bipartisan, quote-unquote, immigration bill. Now, despite the union regularly calling out Harris for doing nothing about the issue, she continuously references this point as if the Border Patrol Union supports her. What they were doing there is saying, just do something, do anything. We'll take anything. Anything you guys got, anything you got. Well, not surprising here. They are supporting former President Donald Trump. The leadership of this 16,000-person union is supporting Donald Trump, and I think it's pretty clear why they're doing this. Donald Trump's campaign and his administration never accused a bunch of Border Patrol agents of whipping migrants when they were doing nothing of the sort. And, Donald Trump actually wants to let them do their job, so they'd like to do that. That's what this is all about. So the Border Patrol Union is supporting Donald Trump for president. No surprise there.
Number 6.
One of the funnier things that happened over the weekend is Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Kamala Harris's vice presidential pick, going out hunting. And it was definitely something. It's definitely pandering as well. A really ridiculous pandering. I hunt all the time. Next thing you know, Kamala Harris is going to be shooting somebody in her house with her Glock. But he wanted to showcase his firearm skills, and he couldn't even load his own weapon. He snapped at a reporter, telling that it was a Beretta semi-automatic shotgun, you big dummy. And then he couldn't even load the thing. They didn't shoot a single pheasant. It was pretty embarrassing for everyone involved. But this is how they're going to appeal to men, which is better than their last attempt. A bunch of actors standing around acting like rednecks and saying they're not scared to vote for women, which would not work either. So maybe we'll try something else next.
Number 5.
The media and their Democrats have spent the last year lying about Project 2025, and it's been effective. If you go look at the polling on Project 2025, people do not like it. Now, they've never read it, but when you have people at like the BET Awards and everywhere else saying, you got to go read about Project 2025, without even reading it, people be like, yeah, it's probably pretty bad. But instead, now they're switching over to Agenda 47, which is the actual campaign ideas of President Donald Trump and what he wants to see done. Now, this is a very scary plan, according to some of the people talking about it. They want to strengthen the border, cut taxes, eliminate regulations, promote energy independence, enhance national security by ending the war in Ukraine and creating more missile defense technology. All of this is aimed at revitalizing the economy and restoring what he describes as the American dream. Quick, someone stop him! Stop him!
Number 4.
This guy wanted to stop him, apparently. Or maybe not. Who knows? Who cares? Let him out of jail. A Nevada man was arrested at a security checkpoint outside former President Donald Trump's rally in Southern California after deputies found a shotgun, a loaded handgun, and ammunition in his vehicle. Many are suggesting it could be another attempt on the former president's life, although others are saying, this is no big deal. The guy was just trying to get into his rally with guns and stuff with fake VIP passes and fake IDs and, just none of that stuff. But don't worry. They're on top of this. The 49-year-old suspect was released on $5,000 bail and scheduled to appear in court on January 2nd. The sheriff of this county showed up on Fox News, complained about how Alabama lets everyone out of jail. It also says, we think we know who this guy is. The guy they had arrested and then released. They think they have the right ID.
Number 3.
GOP vice presidential candidate and United States Senator J.D. Vance expertly explained how deranged the media and their Democrats are about immigration as he engaged in a heated exchange with ABC News host Martha Raddatz, where she emphasized that incidents were confined to a few apartment complexes, and that the mayor in Aurora, Colorado wants you to know that they have not been invaded by migrant gangs. They just took over a few apartment complexes. No big deal. Vance correctly countered, quote, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a few of the apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem, not Kamala Harris's open border. That's the end of the quote. And he's right about this. They are so hell-bent on defending anything Kamala Harris says and demonizing anything Donald Trump says, they sound completely deranged. I mean, she looks deranged, but she even sounds deranged now. It's just weird stuff.
Number 2.
So why all the desperation? Why? Why? Well, pretty clearly, former President Donald Trump has closed the gap with Vice President Kamala Harris in a new national poll. This one, NBC, after one from the New York Times and others have showed similar things, show them tied at 48% amongst registered voters. And if it's going to be, if it was 48-48, if this is accurate, Trump's going to win an electoral college blowout, and they can complain about that all they want. That's the system we have. So if you want to complain about the game, go right ahead. Complain about the rules if you want. That's fine too. But the tightening race comes just 3 weeks and a day before Election Day. Various polls shifting momentum. I'm not going to say I didn't see this coming because I've been talking about this for like a week that the momentum's clearly shifting, but whatever. I'm not suggesting I'm a genius, although I am. Time Magazine also hitting out at Kamala Harris for denying interview requests, declined multiple requests, and will not tell them any of her policy proposals either. Very strange.
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
All right, inside the state of Alabama, and I wanted to talk about this guy. I think this is important. I wanted to highlight this, so I made it number 1 here. State Senator Arthur Orr last week highlighted that the primary hurdle to expanding I-65 in Alabama from the coast to the viciously terrible state of Tennessee is probably not going to be as simple as we thought because, like I said, the hurdle there is a significant lack of funding for such a large-scale project. You want to hear about these projects and how expensive they are? I asked Senator Orr about the amount of money it takes to build a single mile. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be comparable across the entire state, but I'll just use this as an example. There is a northern belt line in various stages of construction planning and plotting going around Birmingham. It is suggested to cost, are you ready for this? $110 million for every single mile that is suggested. So they're building like a 53-mile northern belt line in Birmingham, outside of Birmingham, a Birmingham bypass, if you will, that is going to cost $5 billion. That's how much money they're spending on it. $5 billion. And there's all these other things that they're working on as well. Where are they going to come up with the money in order to build this road that goes from the Tennessee line all the way down to the coast? The answer is they're never going to be able to do that. It just seems crazy.
Didn't Ainsworth say that if Trump was reelected, that he told him he would help him secure funding for the
an attempt to get federal funding is on the table. No question about that. There's an attempt to get federal funding that will always be on the table, and matches and all these other things, and maybe it happens. But they've also got that I-10 situation. They've got a bridge they're trying to build out in Mobile. They've got this thing. They've got the Beltline. They got all these things. And for every state in the country, they have their own things as well. All these issues exist in a bunch of different places. And to think that the federal government is going to come in here and sprinkle some money on this seems very unlikely. Now, they secured some funding for part of these things, but $110 million a mile. I don't know where that money comes from. And I don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to try their best to do so. And trust me, this is going to become an issue. It's not going to be an issue in, obviously, this election, but the next election, get ready. That's going to be an issue there. No question about that. So we'll stay on top of that always. We'll probably be right in the middle of it like we always are. So there you go. There are the 7 things you should be talking about today. You're more than welcome to weigh in and voice your opinion right here, right now at 866-494-WVNN, 866-494-9866. You can jump in right there and voice your opinion. Get your questions in for 10 with him as well. We'll take those with you later on in the program. We got a lot going on. J-Town will join us here in just a little bit, so keep your radio locked right here on the Dale Jackson Show on WVNN.
Get WBNN's Dale Jackson's 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.